Hello everyone, this is the V-Man and welcome. We are back on Autopolis International Racing Course in Group 3 cars. You saw my last video, it was a disaster. I just entered A+ rating and I almost lost it. And today I wanted to show you 3 races I did the other day on as I said, Autopolis International Racing Course. I was using Audi R8 and this is racing as it should be. Clean, precise, without dirty moves, without dive bombing. So it was a pleasure to race with these guys in these lobbies I entered. So first race started. And as always I was getting in the mood for the racing with the music. Going into the first corner I was hoping that everything will go just as it should go. And this time it did. I am on a 5th position here, so chasing guys in front of me. I was doubting in my abilities. Can I drive here? Can I be good? I am A+ rated driver, but I still lack experience. I am fairly new to this game. I only raced like 6 months, 7 months with the steering wheel. I never did that before. So I was, as I said, a little doubtful in my skills, but I think I did well here. British guy went off the track, his tires are dirty now, I knew that at the moment, so I was ready for attack and I did just that. So I went in front of him on a 4th position. As I said, it was pleasure to race in these lobbies with these guys. Most of them were pretty clean. I don't know what was happening behind me, in the lower part of the grid, but here in the top part or front part of a grid everything was going pretty well, and I was consistent and I was driving good, and I was pleased with that, because on the last video I was using Porsche on Fuji and I was not confident in that car. Here, after just a couple of corners, my confidence was on the maximum once again, and I was certain that I will have a good result here. 4th here, you saw British guy made a mistake and I immediately took advantage of that and continuing with the race, chasing another British guy who is in front of me. I was hoping that first 3 guys will maybe fight, battle among each other, and that I will then be able to come close to them, but no, they were fairly apart from each other, and grid stretched itself a bit, so things settled down here. I was just looking for a British guy behind me. I was driving defensively at some moment just in case if he decides to attack me. You can see here I was just going a bit to the left just to, stop him to do anything rash. This is racing as it should be, as it should look. Maybe boring for the people who watch this, but good for the racers themselves. On the track itself everything was going well, nobody was pushing, nobody was too aggressive, so as I said, for the 3rd time now, that was pleasure, or it was pleasure to race on this track today. We're about to finish 2nd lap, going into a 3rd. British guy is still very close behind me. He's only 0.4 seconds behind, but as I said, I was consistent enough to keep him there. He wasn't close enough to launch attack, and he was just, behind me in a dirty air, and he didn't manage to do anything more than that. I wasn't coming close to the guys in front. Race settled down, and the 4th position is very good because game puts me on to the 4th place by strength, by points, and I didn't know how many points I will get out of this race, but at the end of the race I think I got 700 points just out of this race, so that was very good, and I'm improving my points in VR. And we are going to skip now, as we are going to this sharp corner on to the left. Fourth and the final lap, nothing was changed. Guy behind me, British guy, made a mistake at some moment, so you can see my advantage was over a second and fourth position for me. Not much drama, as I said, as it should be. Everything went well. Going straight into the next race. Again getting in the mood with the music, and race started. Here I started on a third position. In front of me is a British guy and a Czech guy. I was ready for aggressive driving, clean and aggressive driving. I wanted to attack if I have opportunity into the first corner. So far so good. Clean run through. British guy was looking on the inside, but no, he was not that close for that move. British guy behind me was close, but as I said, this is a complicated section of the track. Nothing can be done here. And going into the corner, both of them went wide, and I think that British guy behind me nudged me, and I crashed into a Czech guy, and I slowed down because I knew that another contact and I will push him off the track, and I didn't want to do that. So I lift off throttle, he went in front of me, and I lost 2 positions. But okay, race just started. On the brakes here, and a little bit of chaos, nudging and bumping. One guy unfortunately went off the track. I am racing against Portuguese who is in front of me. The Czech guy was oversteering, he lost some speed, and going into the next corner, Czech guy went wide and I went in front of him. So now I'm third, from 5th to 3rd in 1 corner or 2 corners. Very good. And now I'm attacking Portuguese guy in front of me. I don't know what happened with the Czech guy. He just lost speed, lost his rhythm, his pace, and he dropped in positions quickly. And the guy behind me, I think this is a Syrian flag, is having 1 second penalty, so he's going to serve that. And I was focusing on a Portuguese guy in front of me. Now I was trying to use that slipstream and to come close and to maybe launch an attack if possible. So going into the second lap, first corner, everything went well. Portuguese, it seemed that he built a small gap, but after couple of laps, or I think a lap and a half, I was able to come close to him and to put a lot of pressure onto him, but he was consistent, he was driving well, and the British guy in front of us was long gone, almost 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds, something like that. And now I'm in a dirty air, and of course I need to drive my car according to that. I need to brake a bit early, I need to go to the corner as smooth as possible to keep the car on the line, on the perfect racing line. And I was hoping for a mistake or for a penalty to go 1 position or maybe 2 positions up. We will see. This is second lap. First half of a second lap is done. Still chasing Portuguese guy in front of me. Audi R8 is a very good car. It has long transmission. It is not prone to oversteer, or you can control it pretty easy, so that's the point. And here we are going into the 4th and the final lap, and the gap between me and Portuguese guy went down, and I was coming close to him. And he was starting to feel that pressure. I was really close. So he went a bit wide here. I had better line. On the brakes here, I almost nudged him. And he had a better exit than me, and this is the closest I could get to the Portuguese guy. So we stayed approximately on this distance. You can see here he had 0.5 seconds advantage, and I made a small mistake going to the last corner, but that was it. You can see we were very close until the end of the race, but I didn't manage to do anything with this. Never mind that, I'm third, and this is a very good result, so I gained points. That's the point of racing in GT Sport. So let's go into the next race right away, and here I'm going to start third again, I think. And as you know by now, I enjoy listening to music before start of the race, and race started. Third position. I was warming up my tires here, following a British guy. Going into the first corner, first I went wide, but then British guy went oversteering, he lost speed, and I immediately went for a move, a little bit over the grass, and I was able to execute the move, and now I am on a second place. So as I was saying at the beginning of the video, this is racing as it should be, because one small mistake is enough to lose your position. So now I'm on a second position, and the British guy was behind me, but his pace was not that good. He was losing time, and I increased the gap. So at some moment I was catching up with the guy in front of me, but as in previous race, his rhythm, his pace was consistent, and I wasn't able to come close enough to make a move or to try to make a move. But then this is a fairly good lobby. Races are like this, maybe, as I said, boring for the viewers, but very interesting for me, because, you know, I gained position, I got some points. On the first race I finished on a 4th position, on the second race I finished on a 3rd position, and on this third and the final race of the video I will finish on a 2nd position. So I was increasing my positions throughout the races, not videos. So I started racing with 50,800 points, and I finished with 52,700 points, something like that. You can see this is 4th and the final lap. We were at the same distance, but I made a small mistake going to the first corner. I went wide, so that was the moment when he built a healthy gap, and it stayed like that until the end of the race. And as I said, I will finish on a 2nd position. So it was interesting contrast between this race and the race in previous video, where I almost lost my A+ rating in the first race. And here you saw how races should look like, you know, clean, without much bumping and crashing, without making big mistakes. So for the last time, it was pleasure to race against these guys in this lobby. So that was it for today. If you like this video, click the like button. If you would like to watch or to listen some more, do subscribe. I will try to upload 2 videos per week, that's the plan at least. You can also check out my Facebook page, the link is in the description. So thanks for watching, see you next time. The V-Man is out.